Hello viewers, the topic for discussion is macroprocessors. Introduction. A macro instruction is a notational convenience for the programmer. It allows the programmer to write the shorthand version of a program. It also supports that is known as module programming. That means what? We want to write the whole program into modules. For example, this one is our module 1, this one is module 2, and this one is module 3. It means what? We can take the module 1 as macro 1, module 2 as macro 2. That means it supports module programming. The macroprocessor replaces each macro invocation. Remember that here I am using the word invocation. Basically the call word is used in case of subroutine, but in macro we use the invocation with the corresponding sequence of statements. That is known as expanding. That means if there is a program and in that program I have used a macro, then all the statements that are written in this macro are replaced here in the place of macro invocation statement. That is known as macro expanding. Difference between macro and subroutine. In macro, the statement of expansion are generated each time the macro are invoked. That means what? If there is a program and in that program I have invoked a macro 1 and macro 2. Suppose that there is only one macro 1, I have invoked the macro 1 2 times in this program. And the definition, or you can say the statement that are written in macro 1 are written here, S1, S2. These are the statements that are written in macro 1. When you invoke the macro, S1 and S2 will be written here in place of M1, as well as the S1 and S2 will be written here also. That means how many times you are invoking the macro, every time the body of the macro will be pasted in the main program. In subroutine, the statement in subroutine appears only once. The example is like this. Suppose that I am taking a function in C language. That function is called here and that is defined here. Suppose that this function is void fun and there are some parameters. These are defined here. Now, when you see this invocation, or you can say the call of that macro, the call of this function, now you know that when the controls comes to this call, the control goes to the definition of the function and it will execute the definition, then control return to the next point, or you can say the next statement after this calling statement. Suppose that that statement is S prime. In this case, when you get this function call statement, your control will go from this call to the definition of the function and it return to the next statement, that is what, S prime. Suppose that in this program you have called this function one more time, then in that case also the control will go from here to the definition of the function, it will execute the definition and then control return to the next statement here. So you can see in subroutine, the statements in subroutine appears only once. That means these are appeared only once. You have to write the definition one time and you can call the function more than one time also. When you call the function more than one time, this definition is not pasted here. But in case of macro, the definition of the macro at the time of invocation is pasted here. That means you will get all the statement of the macro in the program that depend upon how many times you are invoking that macro. But in case of function, the statement of the functions are written only once and you can call more than one time. Macro processor. The tasks are what? The first task is to recognize the macro definition. Where the macro is defined in the program, our task is to recognize that. Second, save the macro definition. Just save that macro definition in some place, in some data structure. Recognize the macro calls, or you can say invocations. Recognize the macro calls or invocation. Then expand the macro invocation or macro calls. That is our task. Now, you know that when the source code with macro is given as input to the macro processor, it will provide you the expanded code. And this expanded code is given as input to the compiler or assembler, then you are getting the object code or object program. Basic macro processor functions. What are the basic macro processor functions? Macro definition and expansion, macro processor algorithm and data structure. In this topic, we will study macro definition and expansion and macro processor algorithm and data structures. Here, I have considered this topic for today's discussion, macro definition and expansion. Suppose that you are given with this program. In this program, or you can say the part that is written here is also, this part is also part of this program. Here you can see in this program, the name of the program is copy and it will start from 0 address, you can see here. Now, here I am getting in the opcode field, I am getting the macro. If you are getting the macro in the opcode field, that means this is the macro definition that start from here. And the name of that macro is what? rdbuff. This is the name of the macro. Name of the macro. Now, these are the parameters that are passed to the macro. And %indev and %buffadr and record length. These are the parameters that are passed to the macro. Now you can see here the statement 1 in this macro is clear x, then clear a, clear s, and in this you can see here there are so many statements that are written in this macro. When you get the mend statement, that means this is the end of the definition of this macro. So you can see here our macro start from here and it end at this point. And the name of the macro is rdbuff. So the macro rdbuff start from this statement and the end statement is stx and %record length. Now you can see here in this macro definition, this is the definition of the macro. When you are getting the macro in the opcode field, that means this is now the macro definition has been started. When you are getting the mend, that means definition has been completed. Now you can see here there is a statement like this one, JEQ asterisk -3. What is the meaning of this statement? Here I have not written the label, I have written here the expression asterisk -3. Asterisk means the current address. Suppose that the current address is 1003. Then 1003 minus 3, that becomes 1000, and suppose that the 1000 address is this one. Then our control will grow because you can see here the statement is JEQ, jump if equal. If it is equal, then our control will go to the 1000 address, this one address. Here I am not writing the label. What is the reason? Suppose that I have written here label. In this place I have written here a label lab, and I have written here in place of this one I have written here lab. Now the same task can also be completed by using the label here lab and this one lab, but it will create a problem. When you invoke this macro rdbuff more than one time in the program, suppose that in the program you have invoked this rdbuff 2 times. rdbuff 2 times. Then you know that when I am invoking the macro rdbuff, these statement will be written as these statement will be written by just passing the parameters. That means just replacing the values of the parameters. Suppose that the parameters are here f1 and then buff and then rec. These are the parameters which I have passed, and in this case I have passed f2 and then buff and then lth. These are the parameters that are passed to these macro invocations. Now these parameters are passed here. Endev becomes our what? F1, and buff becomes buffer address, and rec becomes rec lth. Now these parameters are replaced in the macro definition, but when that expansion will occur, you can see here 2 times we will get this label lab. 2 times this will be here, and the statement clear x, first it will be written here clear x, then clear s, and in this way then lab, and the statement td equal to x, and what is the value of endev? F1. It will be replaced by F1, and in this way the first expansion will occur in the program. When we invoke that macro second time, in the second time also we will get the statement like this: clear x, clear x, clear s, then lab td equal to x f2, and in this way. Now you can see these statements are written in one program. When we assemble this program, we will get an error. What is the error here? You can see here I had defined the same label 2 times. Lab, here also this is defined lab, and here also this lab is defined. That means when that lab has been entered first time in the symbol table, and when it will be entered second time, we will get an error. So in macro, what we have to consider? Always we have to generate the unique labels. Always we have to generate the unique labels. How we can generate the unique labels? That's why I have not written here the lab. I have written here what? Asterisk -3. Because if the address is 1003 here, 1003 minus 3, that becomes 1000. So our control will go to the 1000. So there is no need to take the label here. I have not taken here the label here. That's why I have written here the expression asterisk plus 11, and this one asterisk minus 19, and like that. Now this is the part of the program. The next statement after mend statement, the statement is first stl_ret_adr, then C loop, and this is the macro invocation statement. You can see here I have invoked rdbuff with these are the parameters f1, buffer and length. F1, buffer and length, and then LDA length, then COMP #0, then JEQ end fill, then JC loop, and these are the statement written, and this is the end point of the program. So this is the program which is given with the macro definition. The name of the macro is rdbuff, and the macro is invoked here only 1 times. Now how the expansion will occur? You can see here. This is our macro definition, and this is our main program. So what we have to consider from the main program? You can see first stl_ret_adr, and this will be written as it is, copy start 0. This will be written here as it is. This will be written here, copy start 0. Then this is the macro definition, and first statement in the program is first stl_ret_adr. So first stl_ret_adr. Then this is the macro invocation statement. This is the macro invocation statement. You can see here, because I have invoked macro rdbuff, and this macro is defined here. You can see here this macro is defined here in the program. Now that means what? This when we get this invocation statement, in the program becomes comment. So it is written here in the comment. This one you can see here dot, then C loop, rdbuff, this one. Now I have to invoke this macro. That means expand this macro. How it will be done? C loop, it will come in the label field, C loop, then These are the parameters f1, buffer and length. This will be passed here. Now our indev becomes f1, buffer becomes buff address becomes buffer, and this REC LTH becomes length. Now first statement, clear X. There is no any parameter indev, buffer address and REC LTH, so it will be written as it is, clear X. You can see here. Clear A, it will be written same, clear A. Clear S, it will be also written same, clear S. LDT plus LDT has 4096, it will be written same. TD equal to X and percent indev. What is the value of n percent indev? F1. So it will be replaced by F1. So it will be written in the expansion as TD equal to X F1. Then JEQ asterisk minus 3. There is no parameter, so it will be written same. This one. Then RD equal to X and percent indev. What is the value of indev? F1. So it will be written here F1. Now COMPR A comma S, it will be written same. JEQ asterisk plus 11, it will be written same. STCH and percent buff ADR comma X. What is the value of buff ADR? You can see here, that is what? Buffer. So it will be written here buffer comma X. TIXR T, it will be written same. JLT asterisk minus 19. JLT asterisk minus 19. Here one statement is also here. JLT asterisk minus 19. It will be written here. Then STX and percent REC LTH. STX and percent REC LTH. What is the value of REC LTH? That is length. So it will be written as STX length. STX length. Now I am getting main statement, so I have to come to the main program. What is that? Next statement is LDA length, so it will be written here LDA length. COMP hash 0, COMP hash 0. JEQ end fill, JEQ end fill. JC loop, JC loop. Length reserved 1, length reserved 1. Buffer reserved byte 4096, buffer reserved 4096, and then end first, end first. This is the program after the expansion of the macro. In this way, we are performing the expansion of the macro when I am using the macro in our program. Thank you so much for viewing this lecture.